if you're receiving Social Security benefits, you will, under the proposed bill, receive a Doge dividend check. It seems like President Trump is ready to sign it into law when that package comes to his desk. The incentive is go to work, keep more money, get a Doge check. The outcome is millions of Americans coming off the sidelines, looking for work, contributing to their community. And by the way, as the president has said, as a lot of the illegal migrants leave, those jobs are going to need to be filled. And so now there's an opportunity for Americans to keep more of their money, to get a Doge check, to fill those jobs, and to supercharge the economy.
This is insane, guys. You're not going to believe what just happened. Washington is in full-blown chaos after President Trump's shocking announcement about massive stimulus refund checks for Social Security and VA recipients. And Elon Musk is involved. In fact, Congress is scrambling, and Democrats, they're losing their minds trying to stop it. But here's where it gets even bigger. This entire proposal was designed by James Fishback. James Fishback is the CEO of Aoria, the mastermind behind the Doge dividend refund checks. And today, guys, we're going to get down to the bottom of this. We're going to get direct confirmation on what exactly is happening. We're going to talk about who is qualifying for these Doge dividend refund checks and when you should see a check in your account. So here's what we know right off the top. Social Security and VA recipients are included. They're at the front of the line because they worked for years, paid into the system, and they got nothing but wasted taxpayer dollars in return. In fact, the bill is drafted and it's moving fast. Congress is considering it right now as a part of the next reconciliation package, and Elon Musk is all in. So Elon Musk, he backed this plan from the very beginning, and he personally presented it to Trump. Now, Trump says he's ready to sign it into law. Rumors debunked, guys. No, you do not need to make $40,000 a year to qualify. Every eligible American will get a check. Now, Washington is panicking because this exposes decades of government waste. They took your money, they spent it on nonsense, and now Trump, Elon Musk, and James Fishback, they're saying enough is enough. Instead of funding Sesame Street in Iraq or a transgender opera in Colombia, this plan sends the money back to the American people. But here's the catch, guys. Some corrupt politicians are already working behind the scenes trying to kill this before you even hear about it. They're terrified about what this means for their bloated, corrupt spending habits. So really, the big question is, will Congress actually pass this, or will Congress block it before it ever reaches your bank account? And so this is happening fast. We need to make noise, guys. Do you support Trump's Doge dividend refund checks? If you do, drop a quick yes if you want your money back, or a no if you think Congress is going to kill it. Hit the like button, guys, comment, share this video before they try and bury this story. But stay tuned, because what I just uncovered will blow your mind.
Benefits. You will, under the proposed bill, receive a Doge dividend check. And that includes not only Social Security recipients, but also folks from the VA, for one simple reason. They worked for years. They paid into the system, Stephen. They saw their tax dollars not be used wisely. They should be at the absolute front of the line. Confirming it to you, the bill that we have drafted here at Aoria for the Doge dividend includes Social Security recipients. And I got to tell you, Stephen, it's the number one question we've gotten. We developed this proposal at Aoria last month as a way to really pay restitution to hardworking taxpayers who had paid into a system only to have Doge expose so much of that taxpayer funding went to waste, fraud, abuse, and all sorts of nonsense. And so the premise is very simple for everyone. It is take 20% of everything that Doge saves over the next couple of years. We think that can be upwards of $2 trillion in total. So over the next couple of years, take 20% of that, take that and send it as a refund check to tax-paying households all across America. You do that for two reasons. One, they sent their tax money to Washington not to be spent on Sesame Street in Iraq or a transgender opera in Colombia. It effectively means they overpaid their taxes. If the federal government in turn wasted that money, they need a refund in the most literal sense of it. If you go to Walmart, you buy a product, you didn't get what you were promised, you are owed a refund. And the second reason, and the president touched on this on Air Force One last week, it's going to provide a very powerful incentive for taxpayers all over the country to report wasteful spending that they are seeing with their own eyes. And so, Stephen, look at what Doge has done under President Trump's leadership with Elon and a couple dozen 20-year-olds. Now imagine what's going to happen when we enlist 100 million tax-paying Americans to say, hey, HUD, FEMA, the VA, wherever you're seeing wasteful spending, fraud, or abuse of taxpayer money, call it in. Doge will save more money. And in turn, the Doge dividend check will be even bigger. And so where do we stand right now? I'm in DC right now. I don't live in DC, but I'm in DC right now because our team is meeting with members in the House and the Senate to get this over the line, ideally in the forthcoming reconciliation package. We're honored to have the president's support, Elon's support, the cabinet's support, a little bit of pushback on the Hill, but may the best argument win. We are armed with the evidence, with the stats, with everything that they need to make the right decision. And now it's time for us to go in there to make the winning argument and to get this over the line for the country.
So this is breaking news, guys. This changes everything. For years, guys, hardworking Americans on Social Security and VA benefits have been left behind while Washington wastes trillions of dollars. But Trump, he has effectively flipped the script in a way that no one saw this coming. So here's the deal, guys. Trump's Doge dividend stimulus refund checks are officially on the table. And insiders like James Fishback here, they are saying that this could be the biggest direct payout to taxpayers in history. But here's the kicker. Elon Musk is backing it. Congress is debating it right now, and Democrats, they're freaking out. Why? Well, because this plan exposes the decades of reckless government spending. And instead of letting your money disappear into waste and fraud, Trump wants to give it back to you. Social Security, VA benefits, and taxpayers are finally first in line. Did you guys hear that? But here's where it gets crazy, okay? Some politicians, they're already trying to kill this bill before you even hear about it. Will they block Trump's plan and keep the money for themselves? Now, stay with me, guys, because I'm about to break down exactly what's happening and why this could be the biggest fight of President Trump's history. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below.
The good news is that in the legislation that we have drafted, Social Security recipients, of course, will be receiving the check for one simple reason. They worked for years. They paid into the system, Stephen. They saw their tax dollars not be used wisely. They should be at the absolute front of the line versus someone who might have just started. But in this case, everyone's on the same page. Everyone gets the same amount. And that includes not only Social Security recipients, but also folks from the VA. If you're receiving veterans benefits as well, that's how our draft legislation, as we've written it, would go out. If you're paying federal income tax, which is say you're filing a federal income tax return, you are receiving Social Security benefits, or you are a veteran who has served this country and is now receiving VA benefits, you would receive the Doge dividend check. That's what we have brought to Congress. That's the version that we are lobbying for. Of course, there's always going to be some debate back and forth, but we are standing firm on that. Republican or Democrat, you got to see that folks who have worked hard their entire life, paid into Social Security, paid taxes, they deserve the Doge dividend just as much as anybody else.
Wow. Wow. That's big, right? That is huge. Well, here's the shocking thing about it's really the truth about the Doge dividend checks, right? So we're talking $5,000 stimulus checks. If government waste hits that $2 trillion mark, Americans could see a massive refund check. Now, just a quick status update here. There's no $40,000 income requirement. That's fake news. Social Security and VA recipients are included no matter your income. Trump's war on government waste, any dollars saved from corruption, bloated spending, it's going to go right into the pockets of taxpayers, not politicians, but Dems. They're in full-blown meltdown right now. Liberals are losing it over this because they know Trump's plan proves government waste is out of control.
Confirming it to you that the bill that we have drafted here at Aoria for the Doge dividend includes Social Security recipients. And I got to tell you, Stephen, it's the number one question we've gotten. And we never intended to exclude them. It was a 4-page draft of a proposal that went unbelievably viral. But when we actually sat down and rolled up our sleeves to write the bill, the line item that would end up getting in a reconciliation package, we wanted to be crystal clear. If you're receiving Social Security benefits, you will, under the proposed bill, receive a Doge dividend check. Now it's up for our folks and our friends in Congress on the left and the right to get that passed. Of course, it seems like President Trump is ready to sign it into law when that package comes to his desk. But that's where we are right now. And my team just walked out. 2 of them just walked out to meet with the U.S. Senator over on the Hill and get as much support. We are taking no one for granted. We've asked to meet with Republicans and Democrats. We've had over 30 meetings with House and Senate members since this was proposed. And so we don't just want to propose the idea. We want to be part of the solution and executing on it and getting it over the line. Just go to My Doge Dividend, mydogedividend.com, and read our 4-page proposal that is informing the legislation and that is really taken off this entire viral moment, it seems, for an economic policy proposal.
And so, guys, what I want you to do is just take a quick second and look at the actual proposal that James Fishback, CEO of Aoria, is talking about with regard to the Doge dividend check. Few in America knew precisely what to expect from Doge. The early perceived turbulence around leadership, the uncertainty around legal structure, and the lack of precedent for such a bold initiative created a sense of show me with Doge. Just a month into President Trump's second term, Doge is delivering, full stop. He goes on to say here that Doge reportedly achieving $1 billion in savings per day. President Trump has an opportunity to work with Congress to take Doge one step further and deliver what we in Aoria call the Doge dividend. This is a tax refund check to be sent after the expiration of Doge in July 2026, funded exclusively with a portion of the tax savings delivered by Doge. Now, here's how President Trump's Doge dividend works. Doge is targeting $2 trillion in total savings. Take 20% of Doge's total savings, $400 billion, and return it to the 79 million U.S. tax-paying households that will be net payers of federal income tax in the year 2025 as a tax refund check called the Doge dividend. So $400 billion in Doge-driven savings divided by 79 million tax-paying households equals the $5,000 Doge dividend check per paying household. So this is excellent. Now, below it goes into the benefits of President Trump's Doge dividend, which we will explore in more detail. Now, I'm not going to go into that today. I'm going to go into that in a future video, but I just wanted you guys to understand what James Fishback was referencing.
Is really taken off this entire viral moment, it seems, for an economic policy proposal. What it very simply says is if you file a federal income tax return, you pay federal income tax, which is to say that you worked, that you would receive, that household, that individual in that household would receive a Doge dividend check. Part of the reason, Stephen, we talked about in this proposal, the 4th key benefit we talked about was incentivizing labor force participation. Here's an unbelievable statistic. There are 7 million working age men in this country who are not working. 7 million working age men who are not working. 40% of them are taking opioid painkillers every single day. There's a direct link with the hollowing out of places like Appalachia and the South, the manufacturing hubs of our great country, and opioid addiction, depths of despair, and of course, folks being pushed on the sidelines and not being able to work. And so what better way to incentivize, on one hand, what the president is doing to close the southern border, to prevent the flow of new fentanyl and new drugs into the country, while at the same time building on the president's bold proposals of no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, as yet another incentive, Stephen, of a Doge dividend goes to those who work and pay federal income tax. Think about it. If you're a guy right now who's working age, who's not working, and you know there is a prospect of a Doge dividend check with your name on it next summer, so long as you get a job, get back into that labor force. And when President Trump has said that overtime, is going to be all yours. Those tips are going to be all yours as well. These are powerful incentives to get the millions of Americans off the sidelines. Everyone talks about the unemployment rate is so low, but you know this, Stephen. The unemployment rate is calculated by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, part of the federal government. It only counts you as unemployed if you've been looking for work in the past 4 weeks. So if you gave up in August of 24, of 23, of 2020, if you gave up looking for work because the conditions weren't there, guess what? Now you are not technically unemployed. And so what we want to do is we want to give another incentive with President Trump to bring hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people off the sidelines saying, wait, hold on. Trump saying, I get to keep all my tips. I get to keep all my overtime, and I can get a Doge dividend check as well. That is a winning formula. As the economists say, show me the incentive and I will show you the outcome. The incentive is go to work, keep more money, get a Doge check. The outcome is millions of Americans coming off the sidelines, looking for work, contributing to their community. And by the way, as the president has said, as a lot of the illegal migrants leave, those jobs are going to need to be filled. And so now there's an opportunity for Americans to keep more of their money, to get a Doge check, to fill those jobs, and to supercharge the economy.
Well, guys, they don't want you to know this. The reports are surfacing, and it's worse than we thought. Washington is in full-blown crisis mode as Trump's Doge dividend stimulus check refunds, they're gaining momentum, guys, because this isn't just about sending checks to Social Security and VA recipients. It's about exposing decades of government fraud and waste. But here's what's really happening. Trump's team uncovered that trillions of your taxpayer dollars have been funded into insane projects we're talking about funding transgender operas in Colombia, Sesame Street in Iraq, and bureaucratic nonsense that serves no one. But now, Trump, Elon Musk, and key insiders are saying that enough is enough, guys. Instead of wasting that money, 20% of every dollar saved will go back to the American people. But here's where it gets ugly. DC insiders are already moving behind the scenes to try and block this from ever seeing the light of day. Leaked reports show that certain lawmakers are furious that this bill would force the government to admit that they have been robbing taxpayers for years. And guess who's leading the charge against it? The same people who push for trillions of dollars in reckless spending while you struggle to pay for gas and groceries. It's horrible. Now, you need to hear this next part because what's happening right now in Congress will determine whether or not you get a check or if corrupt politicians steal it before it even hits your bank account. But stay tuned, guys, because what I just found out is absolutely unbelievable. It's happening, guys. Congress is forced to confront the truth, and they can't hide it anymore. The Doge dividend stimulus refund checks are real, and the numbers are massive. We're talking about a potential $5,000 plus in payouts to Social Security and VA recipients, plus millions of hardworking taxpayers. Trump is on board, Elon Musk is pushing it forward, and now Congress has no choice but to take action. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. Sources inside Capitol Hill are leaking that some lawmakers are panicking behind closed doors. They never expected Trump to expose the government's massive waste and turn it into direct payments for Americans. They are scrambling to find a way to kill this bill because the public will catch on and they will realize that these politicians have been stealing from us. And now even mainstream media is being forced to admit that Trump's plan's making waves. Reports just dropped that government waste has surpassed trillions of dollars, guys. Money that should have gone back into your pockets, but instead it was spent on corrupt, bloated projects. But here's the biggest shocker. Instead of just approving this plan and giving the money back to the people who paid into the system, some lawmakers are now floating a secret alternative plan, one that would use these funds for more pork barrel spending, government bloat, and even foreign aid. Now, you heard that right, guys. They would rather send your money overseas than give it back to you. But Trump is not backing down. He's ready to sign this into law. And the White House is now putting serious pressure on Congress to make this happen. So now the question is, will the American people let corrupt politicians steal this money again? Or will we demand they pass Trump's stimulus refund checks immediately? Now, I need to hear from you guys. Should Congress approve the Doge dividend now? Drop a quick yes in the comments, guys. Share this before they try and bury this story. So, do you support Trump's Doge dividend refund checks, or is this another government scheme? Should hardworking Americans on Social Security and VA benefits finally get their money back? Or will corrupt politicians block it before it ever reaches your wallet? Drop a yes if you support Trump's plan, or a no if you think Congress will kill it. Let's make this go viral, guys. Hit the like button, comment, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it before they try and silence the truth. We'll see you next time. Well, guys, the great wealth transfer is in full effect. Our freedoms are being stolen, guys. Credit card companies are out to get us. And if you don't understand the game, well, you end up getting played by the game. Now, if you're anything like me, guys, you were probably out of shape, maybe in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and just feeling like the system is just completely taking advantage of you. I remember for a long time, I could rarely ever get any time to spend with my wife. And through trial and error and through a lot of pain, I figured out how to gain freedom and also lose a lot of weight and actually get in shape. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a game changer. To no longer be living paycheck to paycheck, figuring out how to get the credit cards to pay me, the power of a strong credit score. I pay thousands of dollars less per year for the same house as my neighbor, just because my credit is better than his is. And this is not to brag. But this is the truth. The banks are literally taking advantage of the poor. It's like the people who can least afford it, they're charging the poor what is like unofficially called a poor tax, or a tax on the poor. I'm now at a point where, number one, I don't pay for credit cards. In fact, credit card companies pay me to use their cards. And I figured out how to build a lifestyle that is just ultimately very, very healthy. I lost a tremendous amount of weight and I put on a lot of muscle. But when I was struggling, I wish I knew people who knew these things. So anyway, I decided to create a community of like-minded people who are also interested, just like me, in living better. So if you guys want to join my community, it's called the Liberty Pursuit Network. It is brand new. Come on over. I'd love to have you guys and join like-minded people. Be positively motivated by others who are also on the same pursuit. So I'm going to leave a link for you guys so you can join me over on the Life Pursuit Network in the description down below this video. So check it out, guys, and let's not be a victim of this great wealth transfer that is taking place right now.